My final question to you, and maybe we can close out on this. You want to have let's say a federal law that would restrict abortion or ban it altogether, right? Let's just start with even restricting it. In order for that to happen, you know as well as I do, you would need a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican president, all three. So if that's your goal, shouldn't your actions be aimed at maximizing that that is the only conceivable way to get that result. You know if it goes the other way, you're not going to get it. So shouldn't you at least try for what might be the case over what you are 100% sure will not be the case?
I would like to clarify, we need a pro-life Republican House and a pro-life Republican Senate. And if we vote for pro-choice Republicans, we will not have a pro-life Republican House and Senate. It stands with scripture, right? If salt loses its saltiness, it's nothing more than a pebble. And that's what we're seeing with the Republican Party. It's losing its saltiness. And we need to make sure that we, the people, use our power to reform our movement back to what it used to be. And as far as, like you said, the pro-life movement making the case or failing to make the case, I totally agree with you, Dinesh. That's why I started my own organization, was simply because I am watching time and time again the pro-life movement fall short and fail. And that's exactly why I'm taking my stand, is simply because it's a stand that needs to be taken. But yeah, until we start holding our politicians accountable with our vote, because how else do we hold them accountable if not with our vote? And we will not see change. And affirming this bad behavior, it's like if your child gets in trouble at school, comes home, punches holes in the drywall, and then instead of wielding the rod, you take him out for ice cream. And we can't spoil bad behavior. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that if we want a pro-life House, if we want a pro-life, Senate, we have to hold our politicians accountable and make sure that they know that we are a legitimate movement with legitimate concerns.
Yeah. Well, my concern is actually not even so much for Trump. It is that the pro-life movement, if it were to take your stance, will become politically completely homeless. And in other words, in a society where, if it is the case that let's just say that majority opinion is not at a complete restriction of abortion, but somewhere in the middle, unless you can persuade people to come into your camp, you're following a sort of a hostage-taking strategy here